Nanda is joining.
Okay.
राष्ट्रपति या पति जो वो तो जो अभी है।
Okay. So I think we started this thing, right? So we started, what did we do? We have started, what was our topic yesterday? Yesterday, I think we discussed about, yeah, COPA assessment, right?
Yeah, Copa, you know, and you
Correct.
wanted to just run the report based on accounting base.
No, not that one. Yesterday, I think we discussed about this thing, right? The transfer of overheads. I think we discussed about this, and
Yes.
we have created another assessment cycle um, on the accounting based.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, accounting base.
Yeah,
Correct.
right. So this is what account assignment here. Yeah, type of COPA is 2.
Right.
Okay, right. So let's run this transaction and we will see. I think 2110 cost center, it is pushing to different account, I mean cost elements. So let's run COPA assessment KSU5. We have seen the path already, and I'm saying fourth period, and the cycle going to be account assessment. Okay, I'm running in the test run mode. Right, it is saying as warnings, number of message, there are no number of receivers, and sender is 0, number of messages. Let's see what it says. So general message is this: no assignment for an assessment cost element to cost element allocation structure does not contain a valid assessment cost element. No valid sender entries were found. Okay, let us see the allocation structure. I think we made it, but still it is saying, let us go and check. Okay, let us go and check that. Now, when you go here in the change allocation structure, okay, in the first segment, we did mention about the allocation structure. Where is that? Yeah, allocation structure is AS, right? Allocation structure is AS. Let's go and check the allocation structure. What is that allocation structure? Can you all see my screen? Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
that's
Yeah.
your screen.
Okay, fine. I have some internet issue. In fact, I've raised a complaint, but there is no. Okay, AS is our assign allocation structure. Double click on assignments. And if you see in the expenses, we have got 4 lakhs. And settlement cost element is by cost element. Now the thing is 4 lakhs is our cost element, and we have expenses posted into this particular cost element. If you go here in KSB1, if you go here into KSB1, right, 2110, I'm putting the date, execute, and we can see in this cost center for this cost element 7100, which is in INR. Now in our allocation structure, in our assessment, in our allocation, this is there, and in our assessment, COPA assessment, we have mentioned the same allocation structure. And we also mentioned the fixed value field and this thing. Now the receiver is 2110, and these are this is what the sender, and these are the receivers. And here we also mentioned the percentage, the share. So the configuration wise is perfect. There is nothing difference, but it is giving us some error. Let us try it once again. I think it will not work for accounting based still. This was the case in the case of ECC, but not sure about in S4. Let us try this once again. Yeah, so there is no sender and there is no this thing. So looks like the COPA assessment will not for accounting based COPA. It is just similar to that of ECC behavior. Okay, but anyways, I'll try to find out if I have any info on this. I'll let you know, because these are the important points that if this thing works for accounting base, that is what we need to remember. Because in S4 it is working, then that point is very important, because in ECC it was not the concept at all for accounting based. But I'll try to do this, and I will explain you once I explore it, once I have some information. I still feel that it does not work, but let me just see. Okay, that's about COPA assessment. So yesterday we ran COPA assessment with the planning. Now we try to run this in the for the accounting based, but it is not giving us the information. Okay, so that's about the COPA assessment. Next, we will do COPA planning. We will do COPA planning today, and we will do one settlement, internal order to profitability segment, that we will do, so that we with that we have covered the majority of the part, right? And one more thing, we have one transaction code KEPSL. Yeah, combined profitability analysis. We have this one as well. So after that, we will have to discuss about this. Why don't we have here accounting, the combined based? Okay, that we will see later. So the another, as I mentioned, in S4, apart from accounting based, costing based, we also have combined based. Okay, let us discuss that combined based COPA once we are done with all this. Okay, coming to the COPA planning. So COPA planning also works for costing based COPA. It does not work for accounting based, but still we will check here in S4. Okay, or else we'll waste to avoid our wastage of time. Let me try in accounting based COPA, and if it works, we will discuss that. Right now, planning, COPA planning, and we will be doing this for costing based. So let me go here and change KEBD. I will change, I'll change the type. So costing based COPA, I have saved it. Okay, now planning. So what is planning? As we have seen planning in the case of cost center, we have seen planning in the case of statistical key figure. We have seen different plannings. Okay. Similarly, we can also do planning for COPA. What is my plan value? What is my actual value? And what is my variance? So that is about the planning. So as usually it's the same. If you do a plan based on a cost center, that is called cost center planning. If you do a planning based on statistical key figure, that is called statistical key figure. And if you do a plan based on the characteristics, that is what we call it as COPA planning. And it works for costing based COPA, but not sure about accounting based COPA in S4. Let us explore that one as well. Right. So in order to proceed on the COPA planning, the first and foremost is define number ranges for planning data. So the number range, as soon as we post any planning data, it requires a number. Okay, in order to get this document generated, we require a number range. That is what we will maintain over here. So define number range for planning data. Path for this is IMG, controlling profitability analysis, planning, initial steps, and define number ranges for planning data. Just execute. Here, give our operating concern. What is our operating concern? It is 1248. Ours is 1248. And just select the interval, select the interval, and we have some number range maintained already. This is normally happens by default. If you don't find this, if you want, you can create it over here. Otherwise, normally in every system, it will be there. All you just need is to go and use the same thing. Now, this is our number range. Number range is 1 to all nines. This needs to be assigned to our record type. It's called record type. So in order to do that, just select this change groups, Oh, it's already there. So by default, it is happening. See, our operating concern is 1248. 01 is the group. If you want, you can just select this. You can see the number range. And it is an internal number range. It happens automatically. It generates, the number will be picked up automatically as soon as we save it. So we have got, these are all the record types. We have seen what are these records types. The other day we have posted a transaction using B, direct postings from FI. Okay, so that's about the record type. So for every record type, we need to have a number range if at all we are doing any planning activity using that relevant record type. And there are certain situations wherein we we may have to create a different number range for each of these record types. A may require 1 lakh to 1,99,999. B may need 2 lakhs to 2,99,999, and C, and so on and so forth. So all we need is just we will have to create the number range, and we will have to assign similar to that what we have discussed. So just select the same thing, double click here, and you can see a number range. Once you double click on that, you can take to that place. See, the B went into this. It does not have any number range. In order to take that back again, keep your cursor here, select here, and double click on 01. It will be here it is. That's how we will have to do. So if you have any planning for any of these record type, it is the number range is required to be maintained. Without that, we cannot do. Okay, so it is required. Just save it back. So the number range is maintained. Next, the next activity we have is versions, planning versions. Okay, what is the version that you want to use for your COPA planning? Normally we use 0 for actuals, and it is used for both planning and actuals. Of course, we have done this for controlling area, and we also have done it for profit center. Now let us do it for operating concern. So maintain versions path is the same thing, just execute. So 0 is basically we use it for both planning and actuals. Earlier we have done it for controlling area, and we have also done for operating profit center accounting. Now we will have to do for operating concern. Just select our version 0, double click on operating concern. Okay, settings in operating concern. Version 0 does not exist in operating concern. Transfer version to operating concern. Yes, we need to have it. Yes, we have this window. This is for version locked. What is the currency that you want to use for your planning? I'm saying operating concern currency. By default, we have that. And if you want, you can change the other one. If you want, you can keep the other one. I mean, company code currency or something. Now make sure this exchange rate type going to be P. P always be used for planning. Okay, cost planning. Make sure to use P. Normally we will use P only. If at all you have any foreign currencies and how do you want to do that, that is what basically it tells. So check derivation. If at all you want to have any derivation rule to make this thing, you can select it and you can take the date. But I'm not sure in which case we will use the derivation. I've never discussed about this thing. I mean, I never had a chance to think about the derivation in the case of planning, COPA planning. So not sure about it. That's the thing. Next characteristic group, if at all you need a particular characteristics to be used for this planning version, COPA planning version, you can select the relevant group. Otherwise, if you don't select it, comes for all. So I'm not selecting any derivation thing here. All I did here in this, I've changed the exchange rate type to P just to save it. That's it. Right. Back. Now we have assign quantity field. If at all you want to consider in your planning, if you want to consider any quantity in your COPA planning, then quantity field is required. Value field is required. Okay, quantity value field. If you want to consider like say 100 kgs or 100 pounds, 100 liters, 100 units, if you want to use the particular quantity apart from the value, then you need to use the quantity field. Assign quantity field, path is the same. Okay, path is the same. Just execute. Just execute. We have this. Now, when you go here, new entries, we come across SD quantity field. So far, we have not discussed about SD quantity because we have not discussed the FI-SD integration. Okay. Now, the point here is SD quantity structure. So in SD, as I said earlier, for every sales or every purchases, there will be a accounting, sorry, pricing procedure connected to every transaction. For every transaction, there will be a there will be a what do you call a pricing procedure connected. In FI, in FI and MM, we have got only one pricing procedure, but in sales, we can have multiple pricing procedures. There is no restriction, but from the FI and MM front, we can have only one pricing procedure. If at all you have any import purchases, local purchases, or any depot purchases, or you're selling it to other plants, whatever the purchases you're going to do, you will have only one pricing procedure. But whereas in the case of sales, you can have multiple, there are different options that SD people will do. So there are different options. Based on those options, we will be doing the relevant, we will be dealing with the relevant pricing procedures. So in the pricing procedure, suppose you have a sales value, you have a cost value. So for each of them, you need to have a condition type. For each of them, for each of these, if at all you have any sales value, if at all you have any discount, if at all you have any commission, it means for each of them, you need to have a separate condition type. That condition type is nothing but quantity field. So apart from the values, we will also have a quantity field. Apart from value condition type, we will also have quantity condition types. So these are among them. So normally we will use FKIMG in our pricing procedure if at all you want to consider. Now one important thing is that we don't have COPA quantity field. We don't have, there is nothing COPA quantity field. So we have not assigned it. If you really want it, what you need is just you need to go here in the first screen, maintain value field here, execute. I will say here all value fields display. And when you see over here, you can see amount. These are nothing but value fields, amount value fields. And this is the one we call it as quantity value field. This is not assigned to our operating concern. So what you need to do is go here, maintain operating concern, and change here, and here change value field here. Okay, you will have here the same one, select the same thing, assign it on to our operating concern. It is there, activate it, and take back arrow. So the entire thing, whatever we are doing, this is this is applicable only when you want to consider quantity in your COPA planning. If you don't have planning based on the quantity, you really don't require this at all. Take back arrow, you will get this window, just say yes. system. Can you see? Okay, let me share. Hope you can see my screen. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so do you wish to generate? Yes. So we are adding, basically we are adding one quantity field to our operating console. Okay, so environment was generated completely. So it is in the green color. That's fine. Now let us go back to our planning, assign quantity field, just execute and go to new entries. As I mentioned, take the condition type, the relevant condition type. Normally we will use FKIMG. If we don't have this, we will have to consider the same thing. Otherwise, whatever is there, we will come back here. We will select the relevant one and we will have to assign the relevant value field. So I'm just selecting FKIMG, which is our quantity field. So assign the relevant COPA quantity field. So we have got this. Okay, just select the same thing. So since it is based on a value field, what does it mean? It means it works for costing based. Okay, so saved it back. So we have assigned the quantity field also, quantity value field also. Okay, next is planning framework. This is the place where we will do the complete planning, COPA planning. Basically, this planning framework has four topics to consider within that planning level, and we have something. When it comes, we will discuss that part. Okay, set up planning framework. This is the only place where we will do the entire COPA planning. Okay, so path for this is IMG, controlling, profitability analysis, planning, planning framework, set up planning framework, just execute. Within this framework, as I mentioned, we have 3 or 4 things to consider. Among them, first is the planning level. So what is this planning level? It is to determine what are the characteristics that we are considering for planning. It means in the planning level, we will take what characteristics are required, right? What characteristics are required for COPA planning. That is what we will be doing here. So what we will do, just select the same thing, give a right click, and you have create planning level. Select that and you have planning level. What is our planning level? I will just say 1248 plan. Okay, COPA planning 1248 plan. Right, planning level. We have we have selected the planning. We have created the planning level and we got a window. We have entered a code and we have given a description. We have entered here. Now, if you see over here, these are the fixed characteristics and we have the other characteristics assigned to our operating concern. Now the select all those characteristics which you want to do for planning. So select all of them. So which one do you want? I want controlling area, assign it. I want company code, assign it. And if I want a customer, distribution channel or cost center, you can select. And product, profit center, you can select. Of course, we don't have product, those kind of stuff. So I'm not selecting any of them. Right? So you can make a plan accordingly. So let me take country also. Country, region or country, you can select anyone. Okay, I have selected the required, you know, required characteristics, and I have assigned them as well using this arrow. Go to selections. Now, whatever we have selected, the characteristics all can be seen here in the selection. We can see all of them here. Now, which record type do you want to use? So we have seen what are different record types, right? So I will do here B. I'm just selecting B. I mean, I want to do it from finance. B stands for data from finance. See, direct postings from FI finance. Next, what is our version? Our version is 0. And what is our controlling area? Our controlling area is 1248. And if you want to put some company code, the standard company code, then you can select. Whatever we enter over here, these are nothing but the standard values. These are nothing but standard values. Okay, so I don't want to consider any of the others. I just want to consider these. Just save. On saving it, you will find here. You will find over here. Now select the same thing. I mean, give a right click and you can see something called, I don't remember. Yeah, planning package. Create planning package. This planning package basically is used yearly. For every year, we will be creating a plan package and we will be doing this. So what exactly planning package is? So we will be specifying the values for all those characteristics selected earlier. We will be assigning the values to all those characteristics created earlier in the earlier step. That is what we will be doing here. So I'm just selecting create planning package. Now planning package I want to do for 2019 fiscal year. So I'm just selecting the relevant fiscal year. So COPA planning, I'm saying 2019. So as I mentioned, this planning package is to be maintained yearly. I mean, when we are going into 2020, again, we will have to come here and we will have to add one more to this. Now press enter. Now you have this information here. You have this information. Now what is your period? I will say 01 2019. Okay, I think we will have to enter two zeros, one and dot. So there is no other, I mean, it totally accepts 8 digits. So we need to enter 001 dot 2019, and one is nothing but period. So we are entering period followed by year. So 012 dot 2019. It means first period of 2019 to 12th period of 2019. That is what we are selecting. Okay, just save it. Just save it. It means we are going to create a planning for this 2019. Once you save it, saved, data saved. On saving it, you can see, I mean, of course, you have here it's not happening for me to change. Normally, you can change this. Okay, but anyways, here you have enter planning. My God, now here there is problem from the remote system. Yeah, now here we can see. Okay, now just expand over here. You can see here enter planning data. So here we will be selecting the planning data. So give a right click and you can see parameter set. Parameter set. This is there under planning method. Okay, planning method is basically a function which helps us in maintaining, in entering the planning data. Basically, it helps us maintaining the planning data. And what is parameter set? Parameter will contain the necessary planning methods. I mean, what kind of planning that you want to do, that we will be maintain over here in the parameter set. Now I'm selecting the parameter set. So what I have done, selected this enter planning data, gave it a right click, and here create parameter set. Just press enter that. Now here you need to enter what you want to do. I will say planning for 1248. I've given some code with some description. Press enter. You will have a window here. Now, what is the layout that you want to consider? If you want, you can create your own layout. Okay, if at all you have any standard, you can select. If you want, you can select the standard one. But if you want to create, you can create your own. So Z Copa, I will say Z Copa. So this layout can be used in all years. We don't require to create separately for each of the year. Now enter Z Copa, select here create, or directly you can do it from here also. Once you select it here, it will ask us to enter some code. So I will say Z Copa. Copa layout. Now, so in our selection screen, in the first, we have entered some characteristics. For all those other characteristics, we have entered some value, but we have not entered any values. These are important for us. So what do you want to keep under header and what do you want to keep under lead column? I mean, the line item level at the sub level. So what I will say, I want to keep controlling area and company code at the header level, country and profit center, I want to keep at the lead. Now just remember this point. Just remember this point. So what I'm doing, I'm just keeping controlling area and company code at the header level and country and profit center, I'm keeping at the lead level, lead column level. The next we have is value field. What value fields that you want to consider? Okay, so select value field here, and what are the items that you want to consider? What are the value fields that you want to consider in your planning? I want to say revenue. I want to say insurance. I want to say administration. I want to say rent. I want also to consider depreciation. So whatever the value fields that you want to consider for COPA planning, you can select all of them here and just save, just save. Now ZCOPA created, has been created. So you can see the same thing over here. And what is the currency that you want to consider? USD. Distribute profile for top down, that is a different thing that we don't require at the moment. Zero suppression, if at all you want to consider, if at all you have any zero, do you want to show them, or do you want do you want to consider them for posting? Then you can select, otherwise not required at all. Okay, that's all. And the value strategy that we will see during our product costing. Integrated Excel, if you want to consider integrated Excel, what happens is you will have a window with an Excel. You can maintain the values there in the Excel sheet, and once we save it, that happens automatically. Now I'm selecting active. So distribution, how do you want to consider distribution? Zero, it is 2. By default, it is 2. 2 is distribution as before. It means equal distribution. It will be equal distribution. Now just save. So integrated Excel, if you don't select, you will have a window here, SAP window here, and you will be entering the values. And if you select Excel, you will get an Excel and you will be entering the values there in the Excel. Okay, you will be entering the values in the Excel. Now just save. So under enter planning data, you can see now this. Okay, so in order to go there again, double click on 2019. Okay, click on enter planning data, select this, and you have plan over here. Just double click on plan. Double click on plan. No plan data exists for the specified general data selection. That's fine. We need to have here execute. Planning layout ZCOPA. This is currently in use. We have used the characteristics for which we have specified either a real or well. However, no planning data exists. So we want that one only. Okay, let me save it back. Okay, so I'm double clicking on this. We have a window here and double click on plan. So on selecting this, we should have Excel sheet comes up. Let me delete this parameter reset. I'm deleting that. Let me do it once again. I don't understand where the problem is going, but anyways, let us do it once again. Okay, I'm save it. Okay, go back here, set planning framework, double click on 2019. Here you have enter planning, give a right click, create parameter set, and I will say plan. I think we have entered the same thing. That's my plan 1, planning 1248. Just enter. Here we have a layout, ZCOPA, currency I'm seeing as USD, and I'm saying active here. That's it. We don't have to do anything else. That's fine. There is nothing to consider here. Okay. Settings. I have maintained, the layout, and here I need to select here in the create icon. We have maintained what are our, okay, COPA planning, COPA layout, and I will say controlling area, country, profit center. I'm just maintaining company code only. Let us see. It has to happen. Yes. Planning layout cannot be saved. See long text. Okay. I will create one more. Just save it. Okay. I'm creating another one. 1248 layout. Let me do it once again. I'm just saving. You choose a name in a reserved name range. Choose another name. Okay, let me just save. I don't think it is not allowing us to do. I think we may have only one. I'm not sure. But anyways, let's do that. So whatever we have created earlier, I'm just selecting the same thing. When I go in display, so I can see profit center, country, revenue, insurance, and administration. All of them I can see, right? All of them I can see now. Now back. Now let us see. I'm deactivating this and I'm saving it. Okay, saved. Back. Okay, again entering, expanding this, double clicking on 2019, expand, enter planning. Okay, plan one, just double click on this. Oh my God, this is a problem. Why this is not allowing us to do? So on double clicking on this, if at all you have Excel activated, you will have a window, and I think you will have to just say yes, you will get an Excel sheet. But it is not working over here. Let us do one thing. Let me create a new one. Let us create a new one and let us see how it goes. I will just take one or two characteristics only to see. Okay, just execute setup planning framework. We'll have this window, planning level. Take a right click, double click on, select create planning layout. So you have a window. I will say 1248 plan, COPA planning. Just press enter, we have some characteristics. So what I will do, I will say, let me just select company code and profit center. Let us see. Where is that profit center? Yes, profit center. I'm just selecting only those two. Let us see how it works now. Okay, now go to the selection, and here record type is going to be B. Okay, and version is going to be 0, and period and year we will do that in the next screen. I will say company code also 2000. Let us see how it works. Nothing in the case of description, just save. So period and profit center, these two are there now. Now just save. So characteristic must be included in the planning. Okay, that's fine. So we will consider characteristic also. We will take characteristics and we will enter the value to the characteristic, value to the controlling area. And I'm saving, saved. So on saving it, we got here, right? We have saved it. Now, okay, now take a right arrow and create planning package. Now here we will be doing it for 2019. So COPA planning for 2019. Okay, COPA planning for 2019. Press enter. Now here we have some values. I will say 001 2019 to 012 2019. Okay, I'm just entering the period and year, keeping profit center as blank at the moment. I want to consider that later. Now save. Okay, so now double click on this, double clicking on this. Now here you have a enter planning data. Take a right arrow and create parameter set. Now what I will say here, COPA plan, COPA planning. Okay, just press enter and we will take the layout. Let us try to create a layout. I'll keep this as profit center. Layout, I will say COPA, yeah, 1248, or just I will say COPA, COPA layout. Save it. Let's see. Cannot be saved. See long text. The number of value field must be 1 to 28. The number of lead columns must be 1 to 9. So there should be at least value fields. Oh, sorry, value fields are not there here. We have not selected value fields. That's the problem. So select the value fields. I will say depreciation. I want to consider insurance, rent. I want to consider revenue also. Okay, I have considered all of them. Now just save. It has been saved. Now we need to have the condition in this case is we need to have one lead column, one header column, and value field. So we have entered the same thing and the layout has been created. Okay, the layout has been created. We have saved the same thing. Now save it. Okay, now double click on this, double click on 2019, expand the center plan data, double click on now COPA. So we need to have one window. Yes. So since we have not activated the Excel sheet, we have got this window. We have got this window. If at all you have an Excel sheet activated, then you will get a pop-up for the window. Now what we will do, so let us go and create once again this with the planning, with the what do you call, so here we can maintain the plan values, what is your profit center and what are your the estimated amounts. You can do it from here also, or if you activate Excel, you will get an Excel and you can maintain the values over here. Got it? Whatever we have lead column values, the same thing will appear, and whatever the value fields that we have selected there, all will come over here, and you just have to maintain the values here. Okay, so what I will do, let me go and delete it, and I will show you how to activate the Excel sheet. Okay, so let me give a right click, create parameter set. Okay, give some code, Copa planning, enter as marked for deletion. That's fine. So select the same thing, create parameter. I will say Copa 1248. Copa planning, press enter. You've got over here, and if you want, you can create your own. Already we have got two. I will say 1248. Create it, planning. I'm just selecting profit center, and I will also select company code, and I will select value field. I will say administration, depreciation, insurance. I want to say rent, control. I'm selecting control to select multiple, assigning onto the left side. Okay, save it. CO 1248. Okay, just to save, saved. Okay, now here currency is going to be USD, and when you scroll down, you have active icon here. Just to save, you got it over here. Just double click here on this, double click here on this, expand this, double click here on this. You will have an Excel sheet now. It is taking time. Normally, it should not take this much time. What happened this much time? So if you don't want an Excel sheet, then you will have that window wherein you will have to just go there and maintain the values. And once you save it, you will have a planning document number. Then if you go back to COPA report, you can see those values. Oh my God, this is taking too much time. Yeah, just say switch to, what is that? The action cannot be completed because the other program. Choose switch to activate busy program and correct the program. So Excel will come up. I don't know why. Now on this Excel should come up. Let's see. No, it's not happening. This action cannot be completed because now if I say Swift to, we will have an Excel sheet open. Let me just try with this. Okay, we have an Excel sheet opened. Let's try now. No, it's not happening. Okay, so basically we will have a window, and that window is nothing but an Excel sheet window. You will have an Excel sheet and you just have to enter here. You will have, let's say, revenue. If at all you have revenue, administration, or whatever you have, you will have that the header, and you need to enter the amounts, whatever the amounts that you want to consider, you will be entering that. So it is not happening. It is not happening. So no, it's not happening. So normally a window will come up, Excel window will come up, and we just have to maintain over there. That's fine. So what I will do now, it's not coming at all. Let me exit and join in again and try. Let us see. Let me delete this. Okay. So let me open SPRO. So I'm opening another. System is a little rough. Okay, controlling profitability analysis, planning, planning framework, setup planning framework. Now double click here on this. You have this. I'm just deleting now. I don't want to consider Excel. Let me just maintain them in the normal way. So give a right click to this, create parameter set. I'm saying here COPA 1248 presenter marked for deletion. Okay, so give a right click. I will say test COPA planning. Enter. Okay, here you can give the code what we have created just little while ago. I'm giving the same code and saying USD, and I'm not activating the Excel. Okay, so now save it. Okay, save it. Now if you want to see the layout, you can see, double click here on this profit center company code and in this range. Okay, so go back and just double click here on this, double clear 2019. It means we are maintaining planning for 2019, and double click on text. You have a window. This is our company code and 2110, and I want to maintain for 2 profit centers. I will say 2500 here, 3500, depreciation 1000, then insurance 1250, 2500. Rent I will say 1500, 2000, and revenue I will say 12,500, then 17,500. So once you maintain the plan, normally these values we will maintain in an Excel. We will get an Excel window and we will have to enter these values manually. Once you are done with it, just say save. You will have a win. Profit center does not exist. Oh my God. So I think we have got only one profit center. That's fine. I will select dummy then. I think 2110 is cost center, I think. Fine. Okay. Just press enter. You got a document number. Now, when you go here in the COPA report, KE30, and if you see margin report, I don't know whether in which we have all these details, but let us see 2019 fourth period. If I say execute, you can see plan values also. You can see plan values also. Okay, you can see plan values. This is your plan and this is your actual. And if you want to add variance, you can add in the form. Okay, you can add the form. You can also add variance in our form to see the difference between plan and actual. So this is basically the COPA planning. Normally we will select the Excel, but somehow it is not working here. We will get a window and we will enter the values how we have entered. We will enter in the same manner. Any questions? Just go through the recording. I know it is little confusing because within the planning we have various steps to discuss, right? So I know it is little confusing, but the practice is only the way to get it. You can see by profit center also for this, and for 2000 this is the one. For dummy this is the one. Got it?
Yeah, we'll go and watch the video and train again.
Sorry?
I said we'll go and watch the video again.
Yeah, because you need to go through all of them. Then
Yes.
it will be easy for you.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow then.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot.